Mocha family, I am back with my son Caleb, and I'm just so excited. I can't even wrap my mind around the fact that you have released your debut album called Legend, and it's available for sale on iTunes. I have all the information for you guys in the description box below, but it's more than just music. You sent me to a website, and I just can't wrap my mind around your vision for what the experience is supposed to be like, you know, to listen to this album. What's different about your album?
So Legend is an instrumental concept album. And the idea behind it was to capture story and sound. So I take an orchestra and I take a bunch of electronic elements and atmospheres and ambiences and stuff. And the idea is to try to capture the battle between three different characters over a fictional country. And so I use different themes, I use different instruments to sort of represent the different characters and their different emotions and how they mature and grow. And
Wait, I have to stop you on the emotional piece, because now that you're living on campus, one of the biggest things I miss about you being home is your music. And for years I used to tell myself, you know, feel like I was on an emotional roller coaster, like, oh my gosh, I'm so depressed, I'm feeling so hopeless right now, or oh, I'm giddy, I'm happy, I'm skipping through the woods. And you would literally evoke these emotions from me, but you playing music was just such a big part of our lives that it took me a while to put two and two together. No, I'm not depressed. His emotion, his music is drawing this emotion out of me.
yeah.
So you're purposefully doing this in your album.
Yep. And then on the website, I have breakdowns of each song that's on the album and how they all relate to each other and how the themes connect, just so that, because when you're listening to it, you can feel the emotion, you can get a sense of the story, but to really get the full experience, I also created the companion on the website.
We could not believe the website. We thought the website was just going to have the names of the songs and then maybe a link to send you to iTunes to buy it, but it's almost like reading stories, like literal stories that you've written. When do you have time to do all of this? You know, I feel like every day, hey Mocha Dad, I feel like every day he goes into his den, his mail cave, and he disappears. But you were working on something. You were working on all of this. How many songs are on the album?
14.
14. Wow. And the music is just something that you hear in your mind. What's your process like? I mean, before you even start, I have to say that from the beginning, I remember you as a toddler, and you know how you buy your kids all sorts of musical play instruments and they just bang on the instruments. I just remember you being as young as 3, and I just remember you picking out even younger than 3, just picking out little songs that we sing to you, like Mary Had a Little Lamb and things like that, and he'd be playing it on his little toy. I mean, somehow the music got into his mind, and by ear he would make music with his toys.
You know what happened? Can I explain to you?
What?
See, what would happen was, I would come and I would play it in this magnanimous way, and it just got on him.
oh, okay. You just magically was able to play an instrument even though you don't play any instrument, and it just got on him.
That's right.
Take all the credit from God.
I'm gonna tell you how that. What happened was that you get those like Little Tyke and I forget the other.
Yeah, Little
brand.
Tyke. It was.
There was
Little
another
Tyke.
brand named to B-Tech.
Yeah.
Right, and they would have the songs already there, and he would just hear them by ear
and then play it.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I remember going to music teachers and asking, when should I put him in lessons? Because I saw that it was coming out of you. And they said, wait until he's able to learn how to read. That'll make it easier for him to use the books. And then you fooled your teachers for so long because you could play everything by ear. We didn't even know that you weren't learning to read music until you were he was pretty old before he had a teacher pick up on it and challenge him that, we want more than your interpretation of the song. We want you to play the song the way the composer wrote the song, so you have to read the music and play the music. And then you started to read music. I do know that from talking to you in the past about how you create your music, you're not working with actual musical instruments. You're literally using software to create sound. Even though you play the piano and you can play instruments, but you're creating sound like out of interesting elements of technology.
In this album, there isn't quite as much sound design stuff on it. Just because much of the album was inspired by a particular sample pack that I bought, and I was like, oh, this has like perfect sound. I'll make a whole album centered around this kind of a sound.
Okay.
So I didn't do as much sound design on this album as I've done in some previous stuff. There is like there's one song that's almost entirely sound design stuff.
What's the name of that song?
Vaecordia, which is centered around the character becoming insane. So,
of course.
So that's why I made it up. He's like, okay.
Yeah. And what is the name of your website?
It's just KalebMoten.com.
KalebMoten.com. So that'll be linked in the description box as well. But leave your questions for him down below in the comment section. I am so proud of you. Buy the album.
Yeah.
Be blessed.